So Star Wars The Last Jedi has been out now for a little while, so this is going to be my non-spoiler and spoiler review. The first half of this video is going to be completely non-spoiler. This is my non-spoiler review, and then I'm going to be going into spoilers. My non-spoiler review is going to be very short, but then my spoiler review is probably going to be a little bit lengthy, and I will be going to a lot of details. So of course, if you guys want to see my Star Wars The Last Jedi review, make sure you guys definitely stay tuned. How's it going, Webheads? My name is Ryan Walsh, and before we get in this video, make sure you guys definitely subscribe to Webhead for more of these movie review videos coming out on my channel. Make sure you guys definitely turn on that notification bell so you guys don't miss anything on my channel, and make sure you guys definitely smash that like button if you guys like this video, and of course, comment below and let me know your thoughts. Did you guys like Star Wars The Last Jedi? Did you guys have any problems with it? Did you guys think it was perfect? Let me know down in the comments below, because I really want to hear your opinions about this. But of course, with all that out of the way, let's get in the video, Webheads. Now, just my overall impressions for this Star Wars The Last Jedi review. Really, honestly, like, I thought Star Wars The Last Jedi was pretty good. Now, you guys probably have seen the audience scores and the critic scores of Star Wars The Last Jedi, and you can see there's a huge difference. I'm pretty sure right now, as I'm filming this, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 56% for the audience and then 93% for the critics. So that is a huge gap between both of them. Of course, I don't really take these audience scores too seriously because anyone can vote on them, and you can even vote on these before the movie comes out. Same with IMDb. But really getting to my thoughts of The Last Jedi, I thought it was a pretty solid Star Wars movie. I didn't think it was horrible like a lot of people did, and I didn't think it was fantastic like a lot of other people did. Personally, I thought it was a middle ground, like, you know, just kind of solid Star Wars movie. And all the problems that I have with the film basically are to do with stuff that they set up in Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I felt as though a lot of the storylines were not complete through The Last Jedi, and I have a lot of problems with that. Of course, I'll get into that when I get into spoilers. But of course, the overall plot I thought was pretty good. I thought it was fine, but of course, there was some problems with, say, Finn's storyline. I thought Finn's storyline was absolutely horrible. They kind of go to this casino type place. Not really spoiler because it's in the trailers, but they go to this casino type place, and honestly, I just thought it was a terrible storyline for this story. I thought it kind of was taking me out of the movie. I thought it looked a lot more like Harry Potter when they were on that planet than Star Wars, but everything else was pretty good. I really like Kylo Ren in this movie. I thought he was a huge standout in the movie, along with, say, Luke Skywalker. I thought Mark Hamill did a great job with Luke Skywalker, along with, say, Poe Dameron. I thought Poe Dameron was definitely a standout, but all the other characters, honestly, I thought they were just okay, or they're not that great. So honestly, the only characters that I really thought were very good in this movie were Poe, Kylo Ren, and Luke Skywalker. Those are the only three standouts. Everyone else, honestly, I could do without. I didn't think they were that great. I thought they were okay at best, but I had high hopes for this movie going in. I thought this was going to be one of the best Star Wars movies that I've ever seen. Honestly, I don't really know why I thought that. I think I just judged it off of the trailers. Even though I didn't see any of the TV spots, I made sure I stayed away from those. I went into this movie with high expectations because I really enjoyed the Rogue One and I really enjoyed The Force Awakens. I enjoyed both those movies heavily. So honestly, it was pretty unfair to kind of treat The Last Jedi with high expectations before I even see the movie, but that's just kind of how it was because I enjoyed the other two movies. I thought it was an okay movie, but at the same time, I think you guys should definitely see it. I think it's definitely worth at least one watch. Do you need to go back to the movies and see it or see it in IMAX? I personally don't think so. I don't think you need to see this movie in IMAX just because it was an okay Star Wars movie. It wasn't fantastic. So that's really my thoughts on it. But now heading over to spoilers. This is completely spoiler filled now. Spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie already, make sure you guys definitely click off the video. Come back to it when you see Star Wars The Last Jedi. But now let's get into spoilers and kind of what I liked and what I didn't like. We're going to start off with what I liked with the movie first off. Now, of course, I made a list of what I liked and what I didn't like because honestly, there is so much to this movie. I had to see this movie twice before I really wanted to do this review because honestly, the first time I saw it, I had such mixed feelings on it. I didn't know if I really liked certain things in the movie or if I didn't like them. I didn't know if everything was really making sense, if I really caught everything in the movie the first time around. So honestly, I went back to see the movie, and the second time, I definitely have my thoughts together on this movie, what I did like, what I didn't like, and some things that I kind of partially like. Of course, you guys know that there's huge storylines in this movie that's just completely far off the rails. But of course, the first thing that I really liked about this story is actually Poe Dameron's storyline. I love how Leia is treating him like a hothead right off the beginning of the movie. He got all of these people killed, and of course he's taking down First Order ship, but at the same time he's losing lives in the process. So is it really worth it? I think Leia is really trying to get this message across to Poe that this entire mission is just about saving the Resistance, not destroying more First Order starships or anything like that. So I thought that was really powerful throughout the entire movie. She's really trying to shape him to be a leader, and at the end of the movie you really see that Poe Dameron actually gets it. He gets, we need to save people rather than just take out the First Order. We need to rally the Resistance instead of just sacrificing lives to take out some of the First Order, because that's how you lose a war, not how you win it. Another thing that I liked is really just Kylo Ren. I thought Kylo Ren was probably my favorite part of the entire movie. There was definitely a lot of conflict within him, and honestly I kind of agreed with what he said to Rey and how he wanted Rey to join him in his quest to kind of just get rid of all the light and the dark. I personally think that's the best thing for Star Wars, because honestly it's always just two different sides coming at each other non-stop. They always do it time and time again throughout these movies. So personally I definitely sided with Kylo, and I understood what he was saying when he was basically like, I want to get rid of the light, I want to get rid of the dark, I want to let the past die so that we can be exactly who we're destined to be. I totally got where he was going with that, and I thought there was a lot of conflict within him. And when he killed Snoke, I honestly did not see that coming at all. Now I personally thought that killing Snoke throughout the whole movie, I thought that was a good part of the movie, but also a bad part. And of course I'm going to talk about the bad parts about it in my bad section, like what I didn't like about the film. But I partially kind of liked that, because I liked how we're not going to have an Emperor type character in this movie. Did it catch me by shock? Yeah, at first I didn't even believe it. I didn't understand what was going on because it happened so fast. And I didn't see Kylo really turning the lightsaber towards Snoke, and when it went through him, I could not believe that happened at all. I was extremely shocked. And honestly, I have to say Rian Johnson had some balls. I have to say, he definitely had some balls. He took a lot of risk in this movie, and he definitely went in different directions with almost every single storyline that basically The Force Awakens kind of started up and kind of set the movie off to, but he completely took a different turn with everything. Now, following Snoke's death, when they had that battle with Kylo Ren and Rey versing off against all of the guards, I thought that was probably the highlight of the movie. I love how both characters teamed up to take out all these guards. I thought they were great. Personally, I thought they were going to be the Knights of Ren when I first saw the movie, but the Knights of Ren didn't even show up in the movie at all. So that I kind of have a problem with as well, but I'm going to talk about it in the spoilers. There's so many problems with the movie as well, as you guys can kind of tell. But that scene definitely was probably one of the best scenes that I personally have seen in Star Wars movies till this day. The battles, of course, in this movie, like any space battle or anything like that, I personally thought they were really good. Like the first couple minutes of the movie, you get right into a space battle, and honestly, it's an awesome space battle. I thought it was really cool, and probably some of the best space battles that we've seen in Star Wars movies. I thought the action and the battles in this movie were top-notch in the movie, but those weren't really the problems at all. Those were just things that were really good. Now jumping towards the end of the movie with Admiral Holden, I'm pretty sure that's her name. It's basically the lady with the purple hair that was in Jurassic Park. The only thing that I didn't like about her character is when all the Resistance ships are going towards another planet, she's on the big cruiser, and the thing is, by the time half of the Resistance like escape pods or like escape ships, whatever you want to call them, by the time half of them are destroyed, she then decides to turn around and go into light speed with the cruiser into her ship. I thought that that was kind of a problem with the movie, where they kind of jump cut too much between too many storylines, and from one scene to another, it kind of feels like some time has passed way too long for her to realize, hey, it's a good idea if I sacrifice myself to drive it into Snoke's ship so the Resistance can kind of get away. I thought it was way too much time between them blowing up and her sacrificing herself. That was way too big of a time difference for me personally. I thought they could have done a little bit better job with that. But her actually sacrificing herself and going straight into Snoke's ship in light speed, that was probably one of the best Star Wars moments ever in a Star Wars movie. I love that. I love how the movie went completely silent when she went through the ship. I think that definitely showed much of an impact with what happened and destroyed all these different ships. But at the same time, I have to ask the question, couldn't she have done that at the beginning of the movie? Why didn't they get all of those cruisers just kind of going off and then you can destroy all the ships? I personally thought that that was a bad part of that movie, and that didn't really make sense at all. Now, what Luke Skywalker did to Kylo Ren in this movie as well is something that I actually really liked, and I think that kind of added to the character of Kylo. When Luke was basically about to kill Kylo or Ben Solo when he was a kid, I totally get that he would be torn and he would be like, no, I'm gonna go to the dark side because this guy's just trying to kill me. Obviously, Luke Skywalker is not a good guy. My uncle is not a good guy. My parents aren't good people and they want to kill me as well. Why would they send me away with my uncle that's trying to kill me? That's something that I thought was definitely really good for the character of Kylo, and I understood where he was coming from. And when he's getting seduced by the dark side and Snoke, that's why he definitely has an easy turn to the dark side, and that's why he took the Knights of Ren with him and killed off all the other Padawans that were trained to be Jedis. I totally got that about Kylo, and I thought they definitely nailed that with this movie. And the last thing that I really liked about this Star Wars movie is Luke's death. I thought they definitely did a great job doing an homage to basically the first movie with Luke Skywalker looking up at the twin suns and just kind of playing that music and then him dying, kind of disappearing, and then there's his cloak that drops to the ground. I thought that was a really great moment for Luke Skywalker as a character, and I thought that definitely was a perfect ending to his journey and his amazing journey throughout all of Star Wars. I thought that was a really great part. Now let's get into stuff that I did not like at all, and guys, there is a lot that I did not like about this movie. I will say that right off the bat. I think there was more that I liked about the movie, but at the same time, there's a lot that I did not like at all. But the first one right out the bat is Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma was a complete waste in this movie. I don't understand why they even put her in it, because she lasted 2 seconds in the movie. She had one fight with Finn, and then she goes off into flames and you think she's dead, but she's probably gonna come back. I mean, that was kind of just stupid all around. They said that they were gonna have Captain Phasma more in this movie, but they didn't. That was a lie. They never had more of Captain Phasma within the movie. So personally with that, I was really upset with that. I thought they should put more of Captain Phasma, because Gwendolyn Christie, I think she's the actress who plays her. She is a phenomenal actress. She's great. She's in Game of Thrones. She's a fantastic actress, and I personally thought that she deserved a better role than Captain Phasma in the movie. And Captain Phasma is a cool character. I wanted to see more of her, but unfortunately we just didn't get that, and I'm pretty upset that we didn't. Another one is Snoke's death. Now, I did say that I kind of liked Snoke's death because we don't have that Emperor character anymore, so we're not doing the exact same thing as the past, but also, you're building up in The Force Awakens this Snoke character. Everybody was really excited to see him. Everyone was just kind of like, hey, we're gonna get the same thing as we did kind of the original trilogy, but we all accepted that. And then, of course, you take it in a different direction, but the thing was, it wasn't just you took Snoke's death in a different direction. You brought all of the storylines in a different direction, along with, like, say, Rey's parents. That was another problem. Rey's parents are nobody? Are you kidding me? That is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard, because honestly, I personally think that they should be someone, because you put such emphasis on the character. Why are you gonna have it be important in one movie and then not important in another? I think that's a horrible idea, and I think that was just such a waste. Now, of course, another thing that I didn't like about this movie, the casino scene and Finn and Rose's storyline throughout the whole movie. I thought it was a complete waste of time. I mean, at the end of it, they don't even accomplish the thing they're supposed to, and it's just a complete waste of time. I personally thought that you could have more time with, say, Rey and Luke on the island, because personally, I thought there wasn't enough time with that at all. I didn't want to see anything on this other planet, because honestly, it looked like Harry Potter. I thought it was Harry Potter the entire time. I didn't think anything looked original for Star Wars in that. There were a couple aliens that looked like Star Wars, but mainly it looked like Earth, and it looked like the prequels, and it looked like Harry Potter. I just didn't like that combination of things with that scene. I thought it was just a big waste of time. And honestly, when Finn and Rose are riding on that horse character thing, I forget what it's called, but when they're riding on that, I thought that was so dumb. It looked like a scene right out of Harry Potter, and it took me out of the movie for a little bit. Of course, I mentioned it before, but where are the Knights of Ren? They're building up to the Knights of Ren in that flashback in The Force Awakens that Rey had, and then nothing is done with the Knights of Ren. How I kind of took the movie as the First Order, this is the last of the First Order, and then this is the last of the Resistance. So where are the Knights of Ren? They should be there with the last of the First Order if they're with them. And I personally thought that they should have put those characters in it. They should have had a battle with, like, say, Kylo, the Knights of Ren, versus Rey and Luke Skywalker. I thought that would have been an awesome battle, and they definitely should have done something like that, but of course they didn't. And now talking about Kylo and Luke's battle, let's get into that as well, and how disappointed I was that Luke wasn't even on the planet where they were fighting the First Order in Kylo Ren. He was just putting out an image of himself and just kind of like a hologram type Force thing. There was a lot of new Force tricks in the movie, and I personally didn't have a problem with that, but I personally thought it was really dumb to have Luke Skywalker in the movie and not have him fight anybody in the movie. He fought Rey for like 2 seconds, but he really didn't fight anybody else, and I personally thought that was such a waste of the character. When you're putting Luke Skywalker in another Star Wars movie, all the fans want to see Luke Skywalker take on a villain, say like Kylo Ren, or maybe Snoke could have taken on Snoke or something like that, or the Knights of Ren. That's what we want to see. I personally was thinking that that was definitely going to happen within the movie, and I thought it was almost a guarantee that we were going to get that, but we didn't, and I left very disappointed with this movie. And as you can tell by the thumbnail, this movie was just a disappointment to me. I was very disappointed with it. It's just an okay Star Wars movie, very disappointing, and there's a lot more stuff that I don't really like about it. Oh yeah, and now that I'm looking at my list right now, Leia's Superman scene, oh my god, that was so bad when I first saw the movie and when I saw it the second time. Both times it was horrible. I thought that was horribly done. You can't go out in the dead of space and live for that long. You can't do that. Instantly you would die. So I don't understand how that worked at all. Of course it's just a movie, but at the same time, I personally thought that's how Leia's character should have died off, because unfortunately Carrie Fisher is no longer with us, so how are you going to put her in episode 9? And at the same time, I thought it was a little too brutal of a death for Leia because of what happened to Carrie Fisher. But when I first saw it, I was like, okay, I guess this is the way they're going. Instead, I personally thought they should just written off the character, but if you're going to potentially kill Leia, just do it. Don't try to fake it out like that. I don't like that at all. I thought her using the Force for the first time, her flying back into a ship, we've never seen a Jedi do anything like that. So I personally think that that was just a horrible scene, and I thought that was a horrible choice to put that in the actual movie. Also, the humor didn't really work in this movie at all. I wasn't really laughing throughout the entire movie. There were a couple scenes where I definitely chuckled, especially when Yoda came in. I thought that was great. And when he was talking about the old Jedi text and how they weren't page turners, I thought that was hilarious when they had Yoda. And Yoda definitely looked really good as well. But most of the humor, especially at the beginning when it's Poe and Hux kind of going back and forth and Poe is messing with Hux, I thought that was a horrible comedic scene. I didn't laugh at all. I personally thought it wasn't that great at all. And honestly, with this entire movie, I came in with a lot of questions because of The Force Awakens, but now I come out with even more questions because I don't understand what's even going to happen in 9. I can't even speculate what's going to happen in episode 9 because I feel like they didn't give us anything to go off of. Obviously, Kylo Ren's going to be the Supreme Leader. The Resistance is everyone on the Millennium Falcon, and that's all we have to really go off of. There's nothing really to go off of at all. Personally, I think Captain Phasma is definitely going to come back, which personally I don't want her to at all. I think they should keep her dead because she's such a waste of a character, and I know J.J. Abrams isn't going to use her anymore in episode 9. So that's really all I have to say about the new Star Wars movie. It's just a big disappointment to me, honestly. Like, I thought it was an okay movie, of course, but there's a lot of stuff in this movie that just disappointed me, and I can't really say much more than that, guys, without really going on a rant with this. But that's really my movie review, guys. Make sure you guys definitely subscribe to Webhead for more of these movie reviews coming out in the near future. Make sure you guys definitely turn on that notification bell so you guys get to keep up with all my latest uploads. Of course, smash that like button if you guys liked the video. And of course, comment below and let me know your thoughts on this movie. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on The Last Jedi. Did you like it? Not like it? Let me know down in the comments below. But of course, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye. Alrighty, Webheads, if you guys like this video and you guys want to see more, make sure you guys definitely subscribe right over here to Webhead. I have plenty more videos coming out on Star Wars and episode 9, trying to speculate what's going to happen. Of course, make sure you guys definitely check out my social media links below so you guys can follow me on various social media networks. And of course, check out the 2 videos below me. I think you guys will really, really enjoy. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.